What is your tongue telling you in the mirror? When you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, what do you see? Do the bags under your eyes catch your attention, the gray hairs, or maybe your slightly chapped lips? But have you ever really looked at your tongue? Yes, your tongue. That quiet piece of pink muscle that stays in your mouth all day, only making itself known when you talk or eat, might actually be carrying a map of your overall health. In modern medicine, it's still often overlooked. But in traditional Chinese medicine, the tongue has been used as a diagnostic tool for thousands of years. Its color, texture, moisture level, markings, even its shape, can all give silent but powerful clues about what's going on inside your body. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 surprising signs you can spot on your tongue and what they might be telling you about your health. These signs could point to something as simple as a vitamin deficiency, or maybe suggest that one of your internal organs is under stress. Sometimes it's something completely harmless. But one thing's for sure, your tongue is a mirror worth paying attention to. Let's keep going. Time to dive into the first surprising sign. Part 2. Pale or whitish tongue, the hidden face of anemia. Have you ever looked at your tongue in the mirror and noticed that it appears paler than usual, maybe even close to white instead of its normal healthy pink? At first glance, it might seem harmless, but this could be a sign of something your body is lacking. Anemia. Anemia is surprisingly common, especially in adults over 65, but it often goes unnoticed. That's because its symptoms develop gradually and can easily be mistaken for normal signs of aging. But anemia brings its own set of clear signals, like fatigue, weakness, dizziness, shortness of breath, and heart palpitations. And one of the earliest and most visible clues? The color of your tongue. The tissues in your tongue are filled with tiny blood vessels. In a healthy person, the blood flowing through these vessels gives the tongue a vibrant pink color. But when your hemoglobin levels drop, that is, when your red blood cells are carrying less oxygen, this liveliness fades. The tongue becomes pale, dull, and sometimes even dry. This is especially common in people with iron deficiency anemia, but it's not just the color that gives clues. The texture matters too. A pale, smooth tongue often points not only to iron deficiency, but also to a lack of vitamin B12. And since B12 is critical for your nervous system, that's something you don't want to ignore. At this point, the smartest move is to get a blood test to check your hemoglobin, iron, ferritin, and B12 levels. Remember, anemia is treatable, but if it goes undetected, it can seriously impact your quality of life. Part 3. Yellow and coated tongue. Your liver might be tired. Have you ever noticed a yellow coating on the surface of your tongue? Kind of like it got stained after your morning coffee. But no matter how much you brush, it doesn't go away. Most people assume it's related to bad breath or poor oral hygiene. But in some cases, that yellowish layer could be a sign that something deeper is going on, possibly with your liver. The liver is one of the body's largest internal organs and acts like a giant filter. It processes toxins, medication residues, excess hormones, it produces bile and regulates fat metabolism. But over time, especially as we age, this powerful organ can start to slow down. It gets tired, and sometimes that fatigue shows up in the most unexpected place, the surface of your tongue. A yellow coating on the tongue may appear when liver function is sluggish and bile production is impaired. It can also be linked to digestive issues, like intestinal blockages, slow bowel, movements, gallstones, or fatty liver. Overuse of antibiotics, disrupted stomach acid levels, and even long periods of fasting can also contribute to the formation of a yellow tongue. In some cases, the yellow coating only appears in the morning and fades throughout the day. In that case, what matters is how frequently it shows up and whether it comes along with other symptoms. If you're also experiencing acid reflux, bloating, or a heavy sensation in the upper right part of your abdomen, it's time to pay closer attention. Also, if the yellow coating becomes darker, turning into a yellow-brown hue, or is concentrated along the center line of your tongue, this could indicate a deeper imbalance in your digestive system. In traditional Chinese medicine, this kind of pattern is often linked directly to the stomach-liver axis. So, what should you do? Take a good look at your diet. If you're consuming lots of fatty or processed foods, not drinking enough water, or using alcohol, sugar, or medications heavily, your liver may be trying to send you a message. The solution? Lighten the load. Start your mornings with warm lemon, water. Eat more liver-friendly foods like artichokes, turmeric, and leafy greens, and consider trying gentle routines like intermittent fasting. Simple changes can give your liver the support it needs. Part 4. Fire red tongue. A B vitamin SOS and burning sensation do's. Your tongue look like it's on fire? Bright red, intensely colored, smooth, and sometimes accompanied by a burning sensation. This isn't just a visual change. It can signal a deeper functional issue in your body. Most commonly, it's seen in people with poor nutrient absorption, especially those with a vitamin B12 deficiency. Deficiencies in B12, folic acid, and iron don't just lead to anemia, they can also affect the structure of your tongue. These nutrients are essential for maintaining the small bumps on your tongue's surface, called papillae. When they're missing, those papillae can shrink or disappear. The result? A smooth, shiny, almost glass-like tongue that looks inflamed. But that's not all. These deficiencies can also cause your tongue to feel like it's burning. If you notice a burning or stinging sensation, especially when eating hot foods or even just while talking, this could be your body's way of crying out for help. In adults over 65, B12 absorption often decreases. Reduced stomach acid, long-term use of certain acid-reducing medications, and the natural slowing of digestion with age all make it harder for your body to absorb this vital nutrient. That's why older adults should pay special attention to these signs. If your tongue looks like this, and you're also experiencing digestive issues, brain fog, or tingling in your hands and feet, it's time to get a blood test. B12 deficiency isn't just a dental or oral health concern. It poses a real risk to your nervous system, too. The good news? When caught early, these symptoms are usually easy to treat. But if ignored, B12 deficiency can cause long-term damage. That's much harder to reverse. Part 5. Cracked or map-like tongue. Are these vitamin signals, or is your gut trying to tell you something? Have you ever looked closely at your tongue in the mirror and noticed fine, shallow lines across the surface? Or a pattern that looks almost like a winding map? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This appearance is known in medical terms as a fissured tongue or geographic tongue. But what causes it? And what could it mean? First things first. Not every tongue like this signals illness. For some people, it's simply structural, just how their tongue naturally is, and it doesn't cause any problems. But if the cracks are becoming deeper, more noticeable with age, or accompanied by symptoms like burning or sensitivity, it's worth paying closer attention. There may be underlying deficiencies at play. Fissured tongues are often linked to deficiencies in B vitamins, especially B2, riboflavin, B6, pyridoxine, and folic acid. These vitamins are essential for cell regeneration and keeping tissues healthy. When your body is running low, your tongue's surface may lose its ability to repair itself properly, leading to these visible cracks. But it's not just about vitamins. Certain systemic conditions can also trigger changes in your tongue's texture. Chronic stress. Long-term stress can weaken both the immune and digestive systems, which in turn can affect the structure of the tongue. Digestive issues, problems, like leaky gut syndrome, food intolerances, or enzyme deficiencies often show up as changes on the tongue. Dry mouth. As we age, saliva production naturally decreases. This leads to a loss of moisture and may cause the tongue to crack or become rough. In some people, a more unusual condition called geographic tongue may also appear. This causes irregular red patches bordered by white lines, making the tongue look like a shifting map. These patches often change locations, disappear, then reappear. While usually harmless, they can sometimes cause discomfort or sensitivity. So, what can you do about it? If dry mouth is an issue, stay well hydrated and try to keep your mouth moist throughout the day. Taking B-complex vitamin supplements, especially for older adults, can help repair the tongue surface. Boosting your intake of fresh fruits and vegetables and maintaining good oral hygiene are also key. And don't forget to gently clean your tongue with a soft tongue brush to prevent bacteria from settling into the cracks. Your tongue may be trying to tell you something important. Listen to it. Part 6. Brown or black tongue. Tongue hygiene isn't just about looks. We've reached one of the lesser-known but most surprising parts of this video. If you've ever noticed brown, gray, or even nearly black discoloration toward the back of your tongue, it might have startled you. And honestly, it should, because this unusual sign is often linked to poor oral hygiene or a buildup of toxins in the body. This condition is medically known as black hairy tongue. Just the name alone sounds unpleasant, doesn't it? It happens when the tiny bumps on your tongue, called papillae, start to grow abnormally long. These elongated papillae can trap dead cells, bacteria, and fungi, which then darken over time, giving the tongue a brown or black, almost furry appearance. So, what causes it? Smoking, still a common habit, especially among older men. Poor oral hygiene, not brushing or cleaning the tongue regularly. Overuse of antibiotics, disrupts the mouth's natural flora and encourages fungal overgrowth. Dry mouth and dehydration. Less saliva means your mouth can't self-clean effectively. Certain medications, especially proton pump inhibitors, these can throw off the balance in your mouth and allow buildup to occur. While this condition looks unpleasant, it's often reversible with improved oral care. Special tongue scrapers or brushes can help clean the surface effectively. Drinking more water, chewing sugar-free gum, and quitting smoking also go a long way in restoring a healthy-looking tongue. But if the discoloration has been present for a long time, is spreading, and comes with a bad taste or breath, it could indicate an oral fungal infection, like candida, and should be evaluated by a doctor. Remember, your tongue isn't just there to help you taste food. It's like an external health dashboard. That's why it's so important not just to brush your teeth, but to check and clean your tongue regularly, too. Part 7. Bonus tip. Teeth marks on the sides of your tongue. It might mean much more than you think. Now here's a small detail that'll have everyone running to check their mirror. Teeth marks along the sides of your tongue. When it looks like your tongue is pressing against your teeth as if it doesn't quite fit in your mouth, those subtle indentations could actually be your body's silent cry for help. This is known as a scalloped tongue in medical terms. But what does it mean? Jaw-tongue mismatch. The simplest explanation? A structural mismatch between the size of your tongue and the space inside your jaw. This is usually something that shows up in childhood and stays fairly constant. But if these scalloped edges have started appearing recently, it could be a sign of something new, and it's worth paying attention. Chronic stress and tension. One of the most common causes of pressure marks on the tongue is unconscious teeth. Grinding, bruxism, jaw clenching, or nighttime grinding during sleep. When your jaw muscles stay tight for long periods, they press the tongue against your teeth. That's why those indentations are often more noticeable first thing in the morning. Lymphatic blockage and swelling, edema. When your tongue swells, it's often a sign that your body isn't effectively draining fluids through the lymphatic system. High salt intake, a sedentary lifestyle, or simply not drinking enough water can all lead to fluid retention. When the tongue swells and doesn't fit comfortably in the mouth, it presses against the teeth, leaving marks behind. Thyroid issues, hypothyroidism, when the thyroid gland is underactive, can cause a swollen tongue and those telltale scalloped edges. If you're also feeling unusually tired in the mornings, struggling to lose weight, or experiencing sensitivity to cold, it might be time to get your thyroid levels checked. These marks may seem minor, but if you're wondering, could this be a sign of something bigger? The answer is yes, it could. So if you're noticing these tongue indentations, don't ignore them. Tune in to what your body is trying to tell you. It might just be the tip of a deeper health story. Part 8. Closing. Your body speaks. To you. Through your tongue. We've reached the end of the video. Maybe this is the first time you've ever really looked at your tongue in the mirror with such focus. Maybe you've brushed off little discomforts over the years, chalking them up to just getting older. But now you know, your tongue isn't just for talking. It's one of the body's most honest messengers, speaking volumes even in silence. The color, texture, and tiniest changes on the surface of your tongue can reflect much bigger shifts happening inside your body. And as we age, those small signs become even more meaningful because the body doesn't shout anymore. It whispers. Things we once ignored in our youth now deserve our full attention. That's why this video isn't just a health tip. It's a reminder. Learn to listen to your body, especially to the parts that stay silent. So next time you look in the mirror each morning, don't just check your eyes, look at your tongue, because it might just be the mirror to your health. And sometimes, before any doctor can say a word, that little patch of pink muscle in your mouth might be the first one to warn you. If you found this information helpful, give the video a like and subscribe to support us in creating more content like this. Remember, getting to know your body is a journey, and we're in it together.